everyone. Father Jared coming to you. Tomorrow we will have many thousands of people march upon Washington for the March for Life to commemorate the anniversary of Roe v. Wade that legalized abortion in our country on the federal level. And as we approach this tragic and sad date, I just wanted to offer some reflections on the fact that life is indeed good. Why do we fight for life? Why is that so important to us as Catholics? And I think it comes down to, there's many different aspects of Catholic teaching that all come down fundamentally to this. First, clearly, is that a child in the womb is a child in the womb. They are a human being, an individual, with their own unique genetic makeup, with their own special plan that God has for them. And I think that as we see and look at this particular date and the sadness that can fill many people's hearts, but then also the high emotions that can come whenever we talk about pro-life, anti-choice, pro-choice, pro-abortion, whatever we label it, I think it also comes down to the reality of something that's important for us to remember as Catholics, that life is always good, that life is always a gift. And I don't just mean that for an individual who's conceived in the womb. I mean that for each and every one of us and at every single moment. I find it so easy and often to grow discouraged, to have kind of these depressing thoughts that life sucks, life's hard, that, in different ways we can also express life's not worth living. But I think to express something that is so clearly the case from the lives of the saints, from our Lord's own life, that despite whatever we face as human beings, life is worth it. It is always worth it. The struggles we have, the difficulties we face, both, within ourselves, outside of ourselves, whether it's the opposition of a tyrannical law that has allowed us to kill millions in the womb, or whether it's that internal struggle that each of us can have that is different for each one of us, but we all have. Life is always worth fighting for. Life is always worth living. And I think this is fundamentally the thing that we must keep in mind. We are not just fighting about litigation, legislation, a political ruling. We are talking about human persons, uniquely created, uniquely loved by the Lord, uniquely destined for their own form of greatness. And as we reflect upon that reality, it is important for us to always remember that whoever we're talking to, even if it's people who are opposed to us, they too are created in God's image and likeness. Nobody is beyond his grace. Nobody is beyond his unique creativity that he's placed within each and every one of us as creatures, his children. And we need to keep that in mind, that we are each endowed with our own set of stuff, good, the bad, our tumultuous hearts that trouble us so often. And that as we journey along this path, as we fight for life, we also need to remember that our own lives are worth living and lives of others are worth living, and that we should be pushing each other towards sainthood. That's why life is worth living. In spite of the difficulties that often come our way, the Lord is always good to us. He always beckons us home. He always beckons us to unite whatever it is we are facing, our joys, our triumphs, our sufferings, our ills. He's always there to guide us, always there to comfort us, to console us, and that he wants to walk with each and every one of us as we walk with each other to testify the fact that life is good, life is worth living, and to become a saint is to become truly alive.